The hum of the engines and the chatter of hurried passengers had barely returned to normal at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport when the skies above turned an ominous shade of gray. Just a week earlier, the airport had been crippled by a massive computer technology outage, grounding flights and stranding thousands. Now, as the first drops of rain began to fall, a new crisis was brewing. The computer outage had been unprecedented. A critical failure in the airport's IT infrastructure had caused a complete shutdown of its systems, rendering ticket counters, security checkpoints, and baggage claim inoperable. It was as if the heart of the world's busiest airport had stopped beating. For days, technicians worked around the clock, their faces etched with fatigue as they labored to bring the systems back online. By sheer determination and a few lucky breaks, they had managed to get things running again, though the scars of the outage were still fresh. As the rain intensified, so did the sense of foreboding among airport staff. Sarah Thompson, the airport's operations manager, glanced nervously at the darkening clouds through her office window. Her phone buzzed incessantly with updates and warnings. The National Weather Service had issued a flood warning for the Atlanta area, predicting torrential rains and severe thunderstorms. Not again, Sarah muttered to herself, her mind racing with contingency plans. She had barely slept since the outage, and now she faced another potential disaster. She called an emergency meeting with her team, a diverse group of seasoned professionals who knew the airport like the back of their hands. "We need to prepare for the worst," Sarah said, her voice steady but urgent. "Activate the flood protocols and ensure all critical systems are protected. We can't afford another shutdown." The team sprang into action. Maintenance crews inspected drainage systems and sandbagged vulnerable areas, while IT specialists worked to safeguard the computer systems that had just been restored. Meanwhile, airlines began to reroute incoming flights and prepare passengers for possible delays. The airport, a hive of activity on any given day, buzzed with an even greater sense of urgency. Outside, the rain came down in sheets, turning runways into rivers and taxiways into torrents. The airport's vast network of underground tunnels designed to handle stormwater strained under the deluge. As the water levels rose, so did the tension. In the control tower, air traffic controllers monitored the situation with hawk-like vigilance. Planes were diverted to nearby airports, and those already in the air were held in holding patterns. The priority was safety, and every decision was made with meticulous care. Despite the chaos, there were moments of heroism and camaraderie. Passengers helped each other navigate the crowded terminals, sharing snacks and stories. Airline staff, exhausted but resolute, worked tirelessly to assist travelers, and throughout it all, Sarah and her team coordinated the response with remarkable efficiency. Hours passed, and the rain eventually began to subside. The airport had taken a beating, but it had weathered the storm. As the water receded, revealing the damage left behind, there was a collective sigh of relief. The systems had held up, and a second shutdown had been averted. Sarah stood by a window watching as the first rays of sunlight pierced the clouds. The runway, still glistening with rain, seemed to shine with newfound resilience. She knew there would be more challenges ahead, but for now, they had triumphed over adversity. The events of the past week had tested the limits of everyone at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Yet, through teamwork and determination, they had shown that even in the face of disaster, they could rise above. As operations gradually returned to normal, there was a renewed sense of purpose. They were not just an airport, they were a community, ready to face whatever came their way.